Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Race 7 of the Wevo Championship. And we are here from Cirque de la Surf, Le Mans with Le Chicone as we look at the current championship standings. Joining us on commentary is Ray. I hope you're well this evening, Ray.
Yep, I'm very well. As we look at the standings, still a 8-point gap, 15-point gap from SGP, Steve F1. It's a bit of a gap back to Steve F1, isn't there? From
Yeah.
SGP.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget last week did finish last, and Twilight won, so the gap between those two came down quite a bit. So here we go then, as the drivers are on the grid. And unfortunately, a couple of drivers, I think 2 or 3 drivers, are unable to make the race today. As Demon R's on pole position, SRI in second. They're not able to make the race because of an update. SGP third, Steve F1 in fourth.
Yeah, and Twilight fifth with Nelly in sixth, and it seems like Gary's the one that gets caught out by the updates. And seventh, we've got Critical, followed by Hay in eighth, and then Art Pal ninth and Rich Blue 10th.
Yeah.
So Gary not making it because of the update. Jimmy was away doing
With
business
Richard's
with
wife.
Richard's wife.
And Jason also. 4 lights, Rod, 5 lights, let's get going! And away they go. Oh, somebody didn't move off the grid there. We got a very slow start down at the back. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Okay, SRI, it's had a good start. Got a bit of a run here on Demon R into turn 1. And now, Cirque de la Surf is a... SRI was going way deep then, but he's actually nearly gone for the move. Demon R just manages to hold on. Yeah, this circuit quite tricky in the dry, but in the wet, as we talked about last week, a bit of an unknown for all of the drivers here today.
Yeah, definitely with this rain, and we don't know what the rain's doing as SGP trying to get on the back of SRI at the S's.
Oh, somebody, is that Steve F1's dropped back a bit there? Yeah, he's actually been passed by Nelly and Critical. I wonder if he got a bit sideways through that S, and we can see the weather radar there. You'll notice a bit of extra information on it for the folks. We talked last week, I think it was, about the boxes on the radar. You can see there on this scale, each box is 50 miles. So from the circuit, you can see 100 miles either side. That kind of gives an idea of just how big some of these rain blotches are, as SGP making a move on SRI down the first part of the Mulsanne straight. And on that weather radar, Ray, that's not easy to say, there was quite a few pinky blotches.
Yeah, very heavy rain, so I wonder what will hit the track.
Yeah, Nelly just had a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of the chicane there. Steve F1's got a run of it on him. SRI and SGP side by side. SGP might have been better off bump drafting SRI, but having said that, they've got a little bit of a gap, haven't they, behind them? So battling is okay at the moment, but neither really closing in on... Oh, wow, hey! On the pack cam has just had a mega boost, and he's up into 4th. And he's closing in on SGP.
Is it?
Yeah,
sorry, I was looking at something. Sorry, sorry, apologies.
He's got a half-second penalty. I mean, I just happened to look at the pack cam, and Hay was overtaking 3 cars like he had a different engine in his car. We might have to have his car scrutineered to see if he's upgraded the engine. Okay, SGP still behind SRI down the straight here. Very difficult to see who. Oh, SGP! Oh, Demon R dying. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. SGP. Oh, tank slappered. Oh, and now. Oh, Critical. Oh dear.
That was nearly a repeat of last week with SGP and Steve F1 now.
Yeah, it nearly was, wasn't it? I forgot about that. But what that has done has put SRI into the lead of the race. Hay into second, Nelly into third, Rich Blues up to 4th. Yeah, I think SGP, I don't know if he was distracted or what, but definitely got sideways, I would guess, perhaps breaking a little bit on the racing line. So, I'll tell you what, it looks like it's raining quite heavily down here into Indianapolis, which is the left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. must have caught him out or something. He was over a wee bit more to the right of the track, maybe he's hit the brakes on the curb.
Maybe. Oh, I thought I saw Hay getting sideways there. He's going to lose a few places here, potentially. A half-second penalty. Yeah, Nelly passing him already. And unusually, Ray, we don't seem to have any tyre data. Or moisture data.
That is wet.
Is that the title of your sex tape? Oh, Rich! It is wet. Oh, critical, trying to go steaming through in the middle of the port, on entry to the Porsche curves. Port's got a little bit messy there. But yeah, that information is correct. It is definitely wet, as Steve F1 running around the outside of the twilight. And hopefully the drivers will notice around this track, oh, we've got somebody wide. Who's that Hay behind Arpal? Yeah, the racing line, we've talked about it all season, is slippery, but around this circuit, the braking zones and the apexes are treacherous in these conditions.
SGP into the pits.
I doubt he's going for slicks, but we won't be able to tell until the it is wet information disappears. We get some tyre data. Rich has got a run on Hay here. That's alright, Nelly breaking away a little bit.
Yeah, I think Nelly's catching SRI. It looks closer as we come into the Dunlop. Is it Dunlop?
Yes, it might be, yes. It could be. There's a Dunlop bridge there. So maybe this is no, I think it is the first one.
The second
oh, that's what you were looking for. You got the track map up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's this chicane then?
It's called the S's, and then we go into the Pit Rouge. I think that's how you say it. Rouge. P-E-R-T-R-E Rouge.
Oh, Terre Rouge. Yes. Terre. In French. Okay, Steve F1 making a move on.
I can't speak English, never mind fucking French.
Yeah. Parlez-vous en français? Okay, Rich Blue's getting a little bit feisty with Arpal next to him. Slipstream will be very effective. Looking on the pack cam though, Ray, that drier racing line we often see after a bit is not appearing yet. It's still very, very wet. Stephen R and Twilight side by side here. It's very busy into the chicane. Richard's gone straight on though. Hopefully he'll return safely. So we've got deep, that's Stephen R. And Hay managing to hold on to third place at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Just trying to see who that is on the back cam. Who were on board. Is it Twilight? It's quite. I wouldn't say slow. He just wasn't taking any chances of overtaking in the middle of the first chicane there.
Which might not be a bad idea. Oh, we've got sideways action. Oh dear, Demon R's gone. Demon R, Rich Blues got massively sideways there, Demon R. Not entirely sure what happened there, given the camera angle that we had.
It's all gone pear-shaped for Demon R.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? What's that, the name of the song? Okay, looking at the weather radar, and we've got a bit of an easing. I mean, it doesn't really look like it's easing, does it? But wow, what happened there?
Who's that, Rich? Going straight on, or
no,
somebody else?
I think that was Hay. Because Hay was third, wasn't he? And he's not third anymore. Yeah, I do not know what happened to Hay there. He's disappeared at 1 billion miles an hour. Okay,
It must have been that boost.
It could have been, yeah. Check that engine. Okay, Arpal got a bit of a run here on Steve F1. Although I don't think Arpal's had much practice around here. And if you haven't, following someone like Steve F1 isn't a bad idea. As long as Steve F1's had a bit of practice. Twilight, Critical in the background got a little bit deep. Okay, see Steve F1 not breaking on any of the race.
It hit the inside curb and it sent out wide. So, and then they kind of lost the place through that.
That would explain it. Now, something we talked about last week regarding this track, we have literally no data coming into it. So how this circuit may dry up, could we dry up, get rain in different bits? We've no idea. And neither do the drivers really. They are sort of driving on their wits, and we don't have many of them. But looking at the pack cam radius, that's Demon R, that sort of drier width is appearing.
Yeah, it just the amount of spray it's coming off though, it's still a bit, gotta be still a bit too much for slicks, but
Absolutely.
could be okay for intermediates.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And around a circuit like this, if you do opt to go for something like the Inters at this point, it could benefit. Someone's in the pits.
He's in the pit.
Was that
Front of Demon R.
Yeah, was it?
Was that?
I don't know.
He?
No, Art Pal.
Up.
Okay.
Oh,
got to curb there, didn't he?
Yeah, wonder if he'll get a penalty for that.
Might
Like
do.
that.
That's an interesting bit of weather radar. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the weather looking like it is starting to clear up a bit more. But yeah, for someone like Arpal going to the Inters now. Oh, Nelly's gone deep. That's cost him big time. Steve F1 all over the back of him now. So actually, you know what? Steve F1 was catching the front two, but Nelly's just helped that big time. But yeah, on such a long circuit like this, if you're on the wrong tyre, you could lose so much time, which means if it's an intermediate condition, it could benefit you. However, it is a very long pit stop here. We're looking at about 45-second time loss. So really, if you can avoid going in the pits and make that work, it could be worth doing.
Yeah. As we see Steve F1 on the back of Nelly, is he going to go for a move into the first chicane?
Well, they're both sort of really over onto the wetter part of the circuit. That'll be to keep the tyre life in a little bit, but also braking on this inside line. You can actually brake very aggressively as long as you do it early. Get it slowed down. So yeah, Nelly's had a good run through there. You see Steve F1 was a bit more towards the racing line and hasn't had a good run through those corners on the pack cams, getting busy. Who's that with the Hornet on the bonnet? Is that Hay? Yes, I think it is. Hay's right behind Rich Blues. And Nelly's got a run on SRI here.
Yep.
Okay.
Down in, going into second chicane, see how that goes as we see Rich Critical and Hay having a wee battle. Now comes SGP.
Yeah, I would guess SGP's on the Inters. Nelly's actually attacking SRI, couldn't get a move done. Sort of keeping half an eye on the pack. Critical's looked a little bit out of shape there. I think Richard's now gone deep. Oh, and it's getting very wobbly. Oh, hey, yeah, he nearly moved. Well, he did move over a bit, and SGP was there. Okay, Nelly's still got this run on SRI, but I don't think overtakes are going to be easy into the Mulsanne curve, simply because of which bit of the road you'll be braking on.
Yeah, you want to stay tight and stay off that racing line, and then hopefully get it slowed down. It is a bit slidey, as Demon R's showing.
Yeah, I've just seen SGP get very deep into the hairpin as well. I didn't see what happened to Demon R there, but he's dropped off, hasn't he?
Oh, what was that?
Oh, we've got tyre data!
Get tired.
That was
We're on wet.
Oh, wow, you know what? That is some fascinating information. That is. Okay, Nelly, is he side by side with SRI as they make their way? No, he's just behind. Through the kink, again, treacherous in these conditions. Steve F1 might struggle to get it slowed down into the corner, but round the outside he'll get a good grip. And then as we head towards the right-hander. Yeah, okay, Nelly's not attacking, he's just using the wet parts of the circuit. I am interested to see if SGP did go to the intermediate tyre though, because regardless, his pit stop hasn't cost him too much because he was already sort of towards the back and he's now in 6th. So it's taken a couple of laps to get back into that sort of position. Obviously boost has helped. But if he is on the intermediate tyres, it doesn't look like any wipers are going. this could work for SGP right now.
Yeah, because these ones in the wet, their tyres will start to burn up. How quick, we don't know yet, as Nellie's putting in purple sets still time, so they are, it's getting dry and they are pushing, so it's not as if they're relaxing off looking after the tyres, they are
Yeah.
pushing.
And to be fair, the sector that kills the tyres the most around this circuit is the one they're going through now, and SGP is on intermediate tyres. Yeah, so this is the sector that hurts the tyres the most, and nobody's tyres have really taken any punishment at the moment. So, I mean, that would suggest that you don't really need to come off the wets right now. However, if it isn't going to be raining again very soon, as SGP has made the move on critical, yeah, if it isn't going to be raining again soon, you're going to be either wanting to get onto the inters or hold those wets to see if you can get to the slicks. I don't know if it can work around this track though, given the length of the circuit.
No, I think they might start burning up pretty quickly, especially in the high braking zones as well.
Well, the interesting thing is that looking at the moisture level for Steve F1 here, around that level is where a lot of the drivers would think, okay, this is okay for slicks. But it's when you venture just to the side of that, how wet is it still going to be there? We might be able to see here. So, I mean, Steve F1 looking like he's moved for the cooler bit. Not as much as Nelly is, but there are some, yeah, so look how much moisture's there. So you put slicks on that, you're going to spin, so it's going to be interesting to see. But maybe someone will take a gamble.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will. We've got, what, 10 drivers? I'm sure one of them's crazy enough.
Absolutely. SGP's being closed in by critical. He's trying to use a bit of that damn. Oh, that's all right. Gone deep into the second share. First chicane. Oh dear. Maybe. Wow, I'm surprised there'd been less grip than he expected, unless he could braked a little later, or perhaps braked on the racing line. I wasn't watching, I'll be honest.
Yeah, you were commentating on the back.
Yeah. It's a big screen. Ignore that. Watch the people. Okay, he's managed to hold on to first place, but again, look at the moisture content. It's that, I'd say that's okay for slicks. And the tyres have sort of, they've taken about twice the wear they had previously. It's going to be that final sector. DeVinard and Steve F1 look like they're very close side by side in the background. No nose to tail once again.
They're on each side of the road. You have that side, I'll take that side.
I mean, I'm surprised we've got bump draft in there, unless DeVinard's thinking, I want to call the left-hand tyres.
He's switched back over and now they're on like the dry-ish line.
Absolutely.
Definitely, it's like
Oh no!
From there.
Oh dear, Nelly, that's unfortunate. And interestingly, here comes SGP now. On those inters, DeVinard's front left has taken a bit more punishment. I mean, we haven't seen Steve F1's or SRI's tyres for a couple of corners. But looking at the amount of wear they've just taken, I'd be concerned about staying out on wet tyres. It's a tough one. I mean, maybe though. I mean, it looks like it's okay for wets. For slicks now, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that gauge, if you stay on the racing line, it's not really going that far up into like intermediate tyre territory, so it's just trying to keep it on that line. As we can see, even the line DeMonar's using now, it's not really going up that much.
No, that it isn't. Is that? Oh.
It's hard to see.
It is hard to see, but there's a little bit of blue on that weather radar, and it's looking very misty down here. Oh, yeah. If we got a sprinkle now, that could be a little interesting. See, I do think the condition right now, I think you could go for slicks, but if you're looking at that radar, you're not going to want to go and put slicks on, are you? Because if you're on slicks around here and it does rain heavy, you're going to be a minute slower.
Yeah. I'd like to see what SGP's intermediates are like.
Yeah, see what wear rate he's got on those. Let's see. Is anybody heading to the pits? Steve F1 is heading to the pits. Okay. Front three carry on. So Steve F, what's he going to go for? Critical in the pits. Rich Blues in the pits. I don't think.
There's a bit of yellow in there.
Yeah.
That weather radar.
I mean, could slicks work? But it depends on whether that rain will hit or not. Oh, it's the wipers are going.
The SGP's tyres.
Oh, yeah. So SGP's inters were burning up. I'm trying to keep an eye. Oh, that yellow patch is going to hit the circuit. I'm trying to keep an eye on Steve F1 on the left-hand side, not the pack cam, on the left-hand side, to see what tyre he goes to. Is it going to be a? Oh, it's very wet down here in the Dunlop, in the S's, and we don't get to see what tyre Steve F1 is on. He's coming out of the pits.
Oh,
okay. Oh, you know what? I think that there's a lot more rain coming by the looks of it. I think the front three have looked at that rain cloud and thought, yeah, I'm just going to keep going on these wets because that's going to be very wet and it's hard to see. It's so misty.
It's going. It's just in between. It's not actually full yellow.
No,
the wipers are going again.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, Steve F1 has just overtaken someone. That was Twilight. I think Twilight's had a bit of a moment somewhere. You say critical. Oh, that's all right, Deep. Wow, SGP, Deep. Deep and Oz just about managed. You know what? It is very wet here compared to the previous lap. And that's Twilight on intermediates. He's gone deep as well. Steve F1 is on intermediate tyres. His are brand new, though. So, wow, this is fascinating. How long is this rain going to last? Steve F1 using the fully wet part of the track. You know what? It doesn't look. Oh wow! Wow! Yeah. It's someone's got a 2.5 second penalty there. Okay. Oh yes, he has. Art Powell on the intermediates, critical on the racing hard. Okay, critical right now on this bit of the track. He's okay, but this is the. Oh, we're not on him. Okay, Pat Cam is on him. Oh, yeah, breathe and hold, clench that bump. You know, this is that moment where in his seat he suddenly gets a couple of centimetres taller every time he clenches his arse. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on critical then by the looks of it. SRI's wet tyres, I mean, it's almost dead, but now the rain's come down, they shouldn't really hurt anymore. But the weather.
When do you split? Well, when do you split?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, do you now jump in the pits for a set of inters? Keeping an eye on critical. It's kind of okay at the moment, but down here it looks very wet. So it'll be interesting to see if when critical gets to this part of the circuit, if it's still that wet.
He just looked a wee bit at the chicane. He just seemed to have to be that little bit slower and careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Oh, Hay on hard tyres, off into the barrier. Critical has, yeah, he's gone deep. Okay, it may be the camera angle as well. We've had it all at this championship where the main screen camera angle makes it look a lot wetter. So I think it's borderline. I think it will come in for critical. So I think if you're SGP, SRI, and SGP trying to take the lead of the race here, by the way, is he going to get it done? Not quite. Heading into the Porsche curves. Yeah, if you're the front three drivers here, you've got to be thinking, okay, are these tyres going to last another lap? If the answer is no, you put inters on or slicks. And I think at the moment I'd be tempted to say slicks, but then Steve F1's on inters and he's way ahead of critical.
Yeah, and also
critical. Ooh, go.
Oh, it's went out of my head. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, SGP pulling up alongside SRI. The rain definitely has stopped. The circuit is still moist. SRI's heading to the pits. Can he get it stopped though? Okay, SGP with his inters carries on. Let's see how they're going to cope. Demon R's on the full wets as well. I'd like to see how much tyre life he
Oh.
hasn't got.
SGP a bit wide, bouncing off that curb. Yeah, and
Oh.
how long will the slick survive? Will they survive? That's what I was thinking.
About to say, yeah. Okay, Demon R, look at his front left tyre. I mean, I think he had about that when the rain came. But the interesting thing here is what tyre is SRI going to go to as SGP's got a half-second penalty. Demon R takes the lead. SRI's in the pits, but so is Steve F1 and Twilight, and they were on the intermediate tyre, which means they're not going to be putting on the wets or another Inter.
Well, we don't know. It's not showed us what SRI's done.
No, it hasn't. But yeah, SGP round the outside. I think Demon R's front left tyre's gone. Yeah, he's run a little wide. Twilight's gone hard tyre. Yeah, see, I think Twilight and Steve F1 have gone hard. Critical is just passing them on the pack cam. Who's passed Twilight is on the back of Steve F1, and for Critical, this lap will now feel a considerable amount grippier than the previous one. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to make a move on Steve F1. But as we've seen before, Ray, if you're on the slicks and it's got damp bit on the edges, it's not easy to overtake, is it? Oh dear!
I think Demon R's tyres went.
Oh!
I think he's actually popped it. Oh.
Yeah, okay, Rich Blues on.
Marshals were pretty quick at putting it back on the track.
They were, weren't they? It's the FIA. I was trying to think of something to do with Formula Help Demon R assistance, but my brain didn't work that well. Okay, Rich Blues is in third place at the moment on the intermediate tyres. Nelly is on hards. I didn't see what Artpal or SRI were on.
DRS, Demon R's saviour.
Nah, DRS, Demon R Recovery Services. Okay, Critical are still, well, he's not quite on the back. Okay, we're on the pack cam, we're on Demon R, by the way, and it looks like he's now got as much grip as Critical had on the slicks in the wet. I think everybody, Nelly down, is on the racing hard tyre. Okay, Rich isn't. I'm interested to see what Artpal's on.
Poor Nelly, he's on racing hards. It's Steve F1, racing hards, Renault, Criticals, racing hard. Are we going to SRI? No, we're going to Artpal's Inters.
I think those Inters are sort of burning up a bit here. Now, on a bone dry track, the Inters will do about 2 laps as Artpal runs a little deep. SRI get the move done here, I would have thought. We're going to get to see.
How far back is SRI?
You know, I think if SRI was on slicks, he'd have pulled away from Artpal there. I think SRI's on the Inters because they're going about the same pace, and the gap is very small. That's the title of your sex tape.
What are you saying?
Kirsty asked for the extra stitch. Oh dear. Okay, so
I'll go back with SRI, so might be on the same title. Look, there's Steve F1. So this is he's the first on the racing hards, isn't he, or is it Nelly?
Nelly's the first on the racing hard, so technically Nelly could be net. Well, actually no, it depends if SRI's on the racing hards. He's the net leader. Okay,
he's pulled away from Artpal. Has Artpal had a moment? Yeah, Artpal's lost 2 places.
Was it penalty maybe? It was the penalty area, so SGP's Inters have gone. Okay, that might explain why Demon R is now a long way back from SGP, because he's got no grip. Oh, and here comes Rich Blues.
Rich Blues, and he's on Inters as well.
It's a shame he's not on the slicks. He's been leading this race.
Demon R going to get it slowed down and burned at the pitch chicane. Oh, Rich is flying in there.
He was, wasn't he? SRI was on the Inters and he's back in the pits. Oh,
Yeah,
Nelly!
you've got.
Oh, that was a bit of a late move.
No!
Oh, sent critical on a bit of a tank slapper through the final chicanes. Manages to back out of it though.
He's
Oh,
just stopped and make sure that we don't gain an advantage there.
absolutely. Okay, so with SRI then, he was sort of leading the race, apart from the fact that SGP passed him, and put the inters on when others put slicks on. Interesting. Okay, so what we got now then? So Steve F1 leading the race as Twilight passing SGP as SGP's come out of the pits, but Twilight's got a half-second penalty. So the front, well, I think everyone will be on the slick tyres now, won't they? But
Yeah.
the top 5 has definitely changed around.
Nelly rooting Arnold.
You know what? Talking about making changes. Oh, Nelly! Oh, spin of Rudy, spin around. Oh dear. Meow. So Hay. Oh no, he's on the wet bit. Okay, so Hay up to 3rd place now. I think Nelly just got a little too wide, didn't he? Kept the power on. But that's what I'm saying. You get on the damp bits, it's still going to spin you.
So is Demon are footed? No? Yeah.
Yeah.
So where's SRI? He's not on the timing screen.
Well, SRI was some way behind Demon R when they both pitted.
Oh.
Twilight! Oh dear. Yep, it's slippery. I think he's gone for a backy D's. Nelly will say thank you. Oh, and here comes Twilight. Yeah, he's on the racing hard, so must have got on the damp bit. So yeah, you've got Demon R on the back of him. So Critical taking that. Well, was it a gamble? He came off a wet tyre and put slicks on. I don't know if he knew that the rain was coming or not. That little sprinkle, but I'm on about the rain. That's not my nickname for Critical.
Wait.
That
You
little
might be
sprinkle
better.
could be, yeah. But yeah, either way, it's worked out for him right now. And also, Steve F1 be going to the inters when his wets were sort of dying a bit, has worked out for him as well, because being on the inters and seeing them burn up led him to pull the slicks on by Critical. Oh wow, that's a hard hit. Oh dear, I bet that's what Hay did earlier into that chicane, because you get on the wet, chicane hairpin, you get on the wet, go on.
Are you a bit unsafe going straight across the track there?
I wonder if he was trying to get off the racing line.
Could be. I don't know. The way it looked.
It did look a bit like, you're coming back.
Yeah.
You shall not rain. Okay, we're 3 wide. That could be difficult because somebody might have to brake on a damp bit. SRI on the pack cab gives Rich Blues a bit of a bum draft. That'll benefit Rich Blues, heading down to the Kinkies now in front of the 3 of them. As Critical goes wide on the damp bit again. And spins! Oh dear! And Rich! Twilight! Oh my!
Oh! Jesus, what happened there?
Holy cow! You know what? I think I might have to go and...
SRI's got Demon R. This is crucial for the championship.
Yeah. I'm just making...
It's even crucial with SGP and Steve F1 away up ahead, the both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as this battle is kicking off there, what I was about to say was I might have to go and have a look at just how close Rich's car was to Twilight's car as he was spinning past it. Oh, Nelly! SRI was on the inside and he went for the turn. And as we go through the Porsche curves, oh, a bit wide, barrier. Ooh.
Oh, Demon R's on the wet.
Is he on the sprinkle?
He's on the sprinkles.
Oh, Twilight's wide. Yeah, it's very wet out there. It's so wet we didn't really see him. He's over to the left there, look. You know what? It's starting to look a little misty again down here.
Yeah. I loved them on my ice cream cone. You remember the sprinkles and then raspberry or strawberry sauce?
Yeah, or chocolate sauce.
I can't stand them now. I think
The hundreds
because
and thousands.
yeah, hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands.
Yeah. They've probably
But I
got less sugar in them now. Go on, give us your joke.
no, it wasn't a
Ooh!
joke. I was just saying, oh,
Oh,
he
yeah. That title of his sex tape. Oh
oh,
wow, critical!
he's actually bust the barrier. He's lying on the floor.
Wow. Okay, so Critical was running in second. He has had one hell of an eventful last 4 minutes. And yeah. Okay. Oh dear, get your breath, folks. So this is very busy now. So yeah, Hay unfortunately got a bit deep at this first chicane. Dunlop nearly spun here a lap or so ago. Oh, Art Pal. Oh no, I think that's actually Demon R getting up the inside of Art Pal a bit too cheekily and backs out of it.
He's free if they work together. Will catch SRI if they use a free bump draft.
Yeah, that is true. But having well,
But
yeah.
it's free too much.
Oh, Art Pal, yeah.
Oh, that just hasn't. Oh, Apple, sorry, hasn't gone for it. He's like, no, nearest team. Oh, team and us going round the other side. Oh, he's trying to.
Got to be careful though because of the damp bits. Nice move there by Art Pal, but he's run a little wide. Might get a little squirrely here, and now he's going to have a run back on him. He has got a run back on him. See, this is where Art Pal will now be thinking, come on, someone bump draft me, but you did a bump draft on the previous straight.
Yeah. Oh, and Demon R's going for the move with free wide. Oh, this is. Let's get down to disaster.
It could. Critical just made a move on at Twilight as well, a bit further behind. So 3 wide. Please nobody move over. Oh, that car sank in the gravel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, Critical. He's just not having.
Oh, he just had a massive tank slapper as well.
Is he just riding the curves too much and they're still a wee bit wet, or
Maybe.
is he just misplacing his car on the damp stuff?
Maybe driving a bit angry, maybe. Well, I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we? A driver in a good position made one mistake and it gets followed by a few more because they're trying to make up for that mistake and they end up going off a few more times. And we saw Art Pal go off, but to be fair, Demon R was off ahead of him, so I'm wondering if it might have been a bit of invasive going on there. As Demon R and Nelly now side by side with Rich Blues closing in on them. Art Pal is now bump drafting Critical. And that will be to help close it to Twilight.
Well, it looks like they won't have any worries with tyre wear here.
Well, no, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll turn into a bit of an Australian. Yeah, nah, yeah.
And Father, what's his name? Father,
Ted.
the drunk father? No.
The father Ted's other father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Jack.
Yeah. But yeah, in Australian, yeah, nah, yeah is yeah, and nah, yeah, nah is no.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so what we've got there, Demon R ahead of Nelly, ahead of Rich Blue, no, ahead of Twilight, who's just got ahead of Rich Blues, as we're making our way towards, it's looking misty, very misty. Now, it could be just the temperature's rising, and the sun is getting low.
Yeah, Critical up the inside of Rich Blues there, and Art Pal trying to capitalise on it, but he's not been able to. Critical going round the outside onto the way again.
Oh!
Guys!
It's raining men.
Hallelujah!
You didn't get me song lyric a moment ago. Oh, Demon R, slow it down. Is he just letting Nelly through?
Might have done.
Maybe. Oh, no! Oh! Nelly.
Well, that was an easy overtake for Rich and
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you mentioned about tyre wear. Well, we've got 2 laps to go, and Steve F1's tyres are looking absolutely fine. I mean, I think.
He's gone. He's gone.
He has, hasn't he?
Steve F1's gone. He's timed his pit stop tyres to perfection. Now we've got SGP second and Hay third. Good place for Hay.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what you say that he's just ran wide and got a half-second penalty. Unless he already had a half-second penalty and it's about to go up. Yes, it did. So yeah, but he's got a bit of a gap.
Quite a
So,
bit tyre wear as well.
well, he went onto the slicks, I think, similar time as is that windscreen wipers? I thought windscreen wipers were going on Rich's car. Yeah, so same time as critical, I think. Okay, so what have we got? Going a bit spread out now. So you know, since it's a little bit spread, you know how I've been like trying to not drink much recently.
Have you? Every time I've heard there's been a bottle of bloody sticky coffee, bloody rum.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Rich Blue's got a bit sideways there. Nelly's got a run on him. Well, yeah, I've reduced the amount I've been drinking, and I've not really been buying beer a couple of days ago. Nelly can't quite get the move done on Rich here.
You switched the beer for a rum.
Yeah, I know. To be fair, me and SGP did talk about this. It's like, yeah, we might be drinking less, but if we're killing a bottle of rum a night, once or twice a week, it's probably just as bad still. Rich Blues holds on to the position. Oh, it's got a bit deep though. Nelly will have the run on him here, but Rich actually just covered him off enough there. But if Nelly bump drafts Rich here, they could both catch Demon R.
Yeah. Rich managed to get his car in the right position just to kind of block Nelly, because there was nowhere Nelly could go unless he put a lot more steering lock on, and it could have ended up in a spin.
Oh!
Rich defending. Oh, Nelly!
Nelly gave Rich a bit of a nudge. That put Rich into Demon R. Ooh. Is that push to pass?
It would be classed as that. I'd reckon. Is Nelly going to move over and let Rich back? I don't know. He's too busy battling with
Demon R.
Demon R.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, he might have. I think he'd know about nudging Rich, but maybe not realising the full effect that had. Maybe Rich didn't know that he was tagged from behind. I thought Rich was dying then.
Yeah, I thought Critical had a tank slapper. I think he just caught the back of Rich as he was moving over.
Demon R just gave Nelly a bit of a nudge in the corner. It looks like he's backed out of it and lost the position to Artpal now. So we're making our way towards the start of the fight. It really looks foggy and misty there. That looks more than foggy and misty.
I don't see any windscreen wipers going yet.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
it's waiting. Oh, it's waiting. Oh, yeah, there's the weather radar. Oh, late drama here. Go on.
We're going to see him. They just jump in for intermediates, or are they going to hang it all out?
Well, I think Steve F1 can't. He's already through the final chicane. Okay. Well, it's questionable. It could be a risk. Arpal going to the inside. We got 2, 3 into the pits. There's no wipers going here. Oh yes, there is.
Oh, there is. Yep. No. Maybe 50-50.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, interesting. I mean, you mentioned early on, or tried to, that the slicks on the wet are about a minute slower. If the track does happen to just get wet enough somewhere, this could work for those that are gambling on the pit stops. And look at Hayes' tyres. I think they'll be all right for this lap, but SRI is closing in on him rapidly. Okay, so the top 6 all on slick tyres as weather is coming in on the final lap of the race.
Yeah, well, what's that going to play out as we see?
Oh, heavy rain.
Oh, he's just kept the foot down. He's got 5 second penalty.
Yeah.
Half a sec penalty, sorry.
Oh, 5 seconds.
Is that going to be enough to keep SRI behind him with a gap though once he hits that penalty line?
I don't think it is, but also, yes, we just had a very heavy sort of downpour at the start of the Mulsanne, but the weather's all it's going. It's just one little sprinkle in a couple of corners towards the start of the lap, and Mulsanne's straight. I don't think the Inter's gamble's going to have worked unless, well, it's not going to rain again. Looking at that radar.
No, maybe a little sprinkle of that wee blue bit just about to come up hits the track, but
Maybe.
I doubt not enough. These guys on intermediates, they'll. Do you think they jumped too early or?
Well, they couldn't go any later. Okay, Critical's making the move, but look, there's not enough moisture on the circuit. I mean, the tyres will survive because I know that they'll do about 2 laps on a bone dry circuit, the intermediates. So they'll be okay. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, I think Twilight may have pitted for them as well. There's Artpal on the back of Nelly on the pack cam. I was going to say, Demon Art's got a run here on Critical.
Demon R's going into the wet stuff, so it doesn't matter where Demon R puts his car. As we see, who's this? Hey, and SRI. Look, he's got a second penalty. Oh, he's trying to cover SRI. Just couldn't get the car over.
Yeah. Nelly on the pack cam was just able to fend off an attack from Artpal. I think Artpal's had the better exit out of the hairpin, and oh yeah, he has. He's got a much better run on the pack cam. Demon R's trying to cool that front left tyre. I couldn't see a bloody thing then.
It's weird, kids. Look at the camera on the pack cam compared to the camera on the main screen. It's like it's somebody's plastered Vaseline over it.
It is, isn't it? The cameraman's been breathing heavy, that's what it is. Well, actually, I mean, I do know what it is.
It sounds like SRI in a race.
Absolutely. But no, it's one of those things. So on the main screen here, obviously, we're looking at cars through a distance. So the further the car away, the like here, it looks a lot wetter. But on the pack cam, that first sort of 30-40 feet looks a lot clearer. So yeah, it's a little bit deceptive. Well, it's very deceptive for us. Is that Artpal still trying to battle Nelly? We're coming into the last few corners here, Ray.
Yeah, and Artpal's got the inside line.
Ooh.
Oh, Nelly! I think he learnt his lesson from when he went side by side with SRI.
Yeah. Okay, Steve F1, his tyres have lasted. Some might say he got lucky. Demon R Critical side by side on the pack cam. Steve F1 though is going to take victory here in Le Mans. Got it absolutely spot on, and it's 20 points for him. SGP, after pitting at the end of lap 1 for Inters, he's going to finish in 2nd place. Oh, Critical got out of shape. SRI, not too far away, going to be 3rd place for him. Hey, can he hang on for 4th? It looks like he can. Nelly's there, but not close enough. Nelly 5th, Artpal 6th. And then we've got this battle, Critical and Artpal, Demon R, sorry. Yeah, I don't fall. Is Demon R going to try and do what he did to Steve F1? Oh, Critical's got a bit deep. He'll get the run. It's going to be close.
Is the line long enough?
Typical of his sex too. Rich Knife, yeah, Twilight did go for the Inters as well. So unfortunate for Twilight there. I mean,
he made a perfect decision last week, and then to go on Inters, and he won the race, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's probably what led him to think going for the pits was the right idea. But I mean, to be fair, had it rained more, it would have been the right decision. Unfortunately, though, it just didn't rain. I think it's one of those situations. For those that pitted, did they really lose much by pitting? Maybe a few points. But had it worked for them, they would have gained so much more. It wasn't to be, but because they were in the battle with Nelly and Artpal, weren't they? So yeah, it would have been that sort of battle for 5th place. And okay, what's it? Critical was the first of them to finish on the Inters in 7th. So, yeah, technically still in that battle for 5th, just a lot further behind. Anyway, I was trying to mention earlier about me trying to reduce my drinking. I just thought I'd let you know that I did really well yesterday because I went to the bar and left completely sober.
Did you?
Yeah, the salad was great though.
Oh, the salad bar.
Okay. Yeah, so what do you make of that race then, Ray?
That was very interesting to watch and quite good racing and just unlucky it didn't rain enough for the guys that jumped for the inters.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it? The penultimate lap went to the last lap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot could have happened there. Right. There have been no reports, Ray, so we're able to confirm the race result, which I shared with you. So we might as well take a moment to have a look at that. But also do want to mention as well that, yeah, so unfortunately we only had 10 drivers this evening. Gary, unfortunately, well, there's Gary, Jason, both on PS4s. Others are on PS4s as well. But game updates and system updates seem to take forever on the PS4. So on a PS5, whereas the updates recently have taken like a couple of minutes, for Gary and Jason, they're taking like 45 minutes to an hour, which is really unfortunate. Now, the sad part for Gary is we did let him know last week that there was an update. So we raced last Monday. There was an update Wednesday night.
He did that update. It
I
was a
know,
system update.
I know. I didn't get to that bit of information yet.
Oh, alright, okay.
just, just
Alright,
like your
I'll just
sex
shut the
life,
fuck
you
up.
jumped the gun.
I'll do a Steve F1 and go on, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, so we told him about the update, the game update last week, and he managed to get that done. But when he came on today, there was a PS4 system software update, and yeah, that led to him not being able to get on. Same with Jason, and it's unfortunate for Gary because out of 7 races, I think he's missed 3 of them, 4 of them. It's 3 or 4 races due to PlayStation updates, either game or system. Now, some might say, well, why has he not done it earlier? Well, Gary and his partner are not living in their house at the moment because they're having building work done. So it's not like he's there to be able to just pop it on and do an update. So it's even worse for him, the fact that like they're staying at the parent-in-laws, and he's made the journey home to come and race, and then finds out there's an update and he can't race. So
I was
yeah.
about to say that, and he must get really pissed off going, I'll see you later, I'm going to have some fun with the boys. And the PS4s went, how do you fuck?
Yeah.
Get back there and look after that lane.
See, maybe what Gary should do is say, look, this is really stressing me out. I need a PlayStation 5, and I'll be less stressed. See, now if I was Gary, what I would have done at that point is gone, okay, guys, I'm not going to make it. Have a good race. Gone offline and then just had a nap and slept for an hour and a half, 2 hours, because you ain't going to get the nap at home. But yeah.
No, I would have spoke with the builders and go, see in your quote, add on an extra £500.
Yeah.
Right? And the wife will pay you that £500, but you give me that £500 so I can get a PS5.
It's a bit like that. You see the post go around on Facebook every now and again that says, for an extra £5, we'll do a second receipt that that says how much you actually didn't spend on this item. Oh, look at this! I bought a TV for 150 quid. Okay, it was 300, but for an extra £5, you can have a receipt that says 150 quid. Anyway, Right, okay, so the confirmed race result then, Ray. Let's take us through it.
So Steve F1, he buggered off after he'd done that good lucky pit stop onto the slicks, got the full 20 points. SGP, he went to the slicks a wee bit later, but he was in the intermediates before SRI and Demon R had pitted. Well, SRI pitted for inters. Demon R went from wets to slicks.
Slicks, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so the intermediates gave him a helping hand and then straight onto the slicks, so he got his 17 points. SRI done the wets to intermediates to slicks. Third place, 15 points. Hey, with a brilliant fourth place. He was one of the early ones onto the slicks, 13 points. You've seen these tyres dying at the end, a couple of time penalties that allowed SRI to catch up and get the overtake done.
If he hadn't have
Uh,
had those penalties, he could have won the race.
Won the race.
Yeah.
No, Steve for one was away.
Well, he had about. Well, so he did have about 42 minutes of penalties.
And then Nelly, he had a good race.
He did.
Nelly had a good race. I can't remember his pit strategy or whatnot, but we did see. Did we see Nelly go off? I can't remember.
We did, yeah. I think Nelly went wet.
Oh, yeah, he cut the chicane and got reset, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He also spun going onto the Mulsanne straight, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was on the slicks, yeah. So I'm pretty sure he went wet to slicks.
Yeah. So 12 points in fifth place, and then Art Pal, he done up and down race. He was up battling and back in the pack, and then but he managed sixth place. I don't know his pit strategy. I don't know. Did he go in the pits for intermediates at the end, or
no, not at the end. He
slicks?
stayed on slicks because he and Nelly battled for the last couple of laps, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a good battle at the end as well. Critical, 7th place, 10 points. He just got to watch where he's placing that car on the slick tyres. We just see him creeping over into that wet stuff, and it's punishing him. But overall, I had a pretty good, decent race. Seen him battling with quite a few people. Demon R, 9th. Did Critical go for the intermediates at the end as well?
Yes.
It was the last four, so Critical jumping in for the intermediates. Demon R went from leading the race. He had an unfortunate accident with a flying SGP down into the Mulsanne corner, was it?
Yep, Mulsanne curve, yeah.
Which kind of took him off into the gravel trap. But he got back up, and I don't know what happened. I can't remember what happened from there.
It was the decision to stay out on the wets for that extra lap, where SRI went for the inters at the same time that Steve F1 had inters on and took them off and put slicks on. Demon R and SGP carried on. It worked for SGP because his inters were in a better condition at the start of the lap than Demon R's wet. Yeah, Demon R's wet. I think he lost about 15 seconds because of the tyres.
And then he had the inters at the end as well. Was there any incidents? I can't remember. I know he gave Nelly the place back, and then Nelly cut the chicane and gave him it back.
Yeah. I can't remember if there was anything. He did go deep at the at a chicane on one occasion, but I think that was when it had started raining again. But yeah, Rich Blues had a very interesting race.
Yeah, because he was up and down the field, wasn't he? He was at 4th place, or
He was in 4th at one point, yeah.
so he was like Rick has been giving his feedback, and he's loving this season, and he's enjoying it, and it's a good thing to see that people are enjoying it. But he had a good race, 9th place, 8 points. Twilight, well, I didn't really see much of Twilight, to be honest.
He was in McDonald's.
But you went for the intermediates at the end, and maybe because he won last season, last race, like you say, because he won last race, going for the intermediates. Maybe he took that kind of sat in there psychologically and go, if I go for it, I might get everyone, but it wasn't to be. But he did have a few wee battles, and I think he had a spin, didn't he?
He did. He had a couple. Yeah. The thing is, it's so easy to do that when the circuit is transitioning, wet, dry, dry, wet. It's just so easy to do. I mean, we've said it already. I mean, for the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, there all went to the intermediate tyres. It was a gamble, and on this occasion, it didn't pay off. Twilight Critical, Hay gambled it. Was it Hay? No,
No,
Jimmy. Last week it was Critical, Twilight, and Jimmy gambled for the Inters, and it worked. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, or rain and roundabouts, as is the case here today. Okay, well, let's take a look at what that has done then to the championship standings. And things haven't changed much. There's only a couple of drivers that have moved around. Jason has dropped a place or two, I think it is, maybe one place. And that's about it. Jason's dropped one, I think, and Hay's gone up one. But the point gaps between everybody is insane here. So Demonar's still leading with 111 points, but now that gap is only 2 points with 2 races to go. But SGP finishing in 2nd place is closed in as well. I can't remember what the gap was going into this race.
Give me a wee second to find that. So between SRI 7 points it was.
Okay, so it was 15 points to Demonar.
Yeah, 15 points to Demonar.
Okay, yeah, so that gap has come down by just over half. So the top 3 are definitely now in a championship battle with 2 races to go. Steve F1 in 4th place. The winners helped him here bridge a gap to 5th place. But, I mean, if he wins another one and the top 3 end up in the bottom 3 places, it could get very close going into the last race of the season. Twilight and Nelly in 5th place, tied 5th. So Nelly sticking onto those slicks has worked for him. 71 points for them. Go on.
Yeah, Nelly's jumped Jason. So Jason lost out to Nelly. And he was Twilight was on 38 points from Demonar last race, and Nelly was 43 points from Demonar last race, so Nelly's brought that in quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jason and Hay tied 7th place, both on 63 points. That's a brilliant result for Hay.
Yeah, he jumped Critical.
Yeah. So critical 9th place drops down to 9th, 61 points for him. We've got an 11-point gap then to Art Pal in 10th place. Let's not forget as well, critical and Art Pal have missed a couple of races this season. Rich has, Gary has, Jimmy has. But yeah, so Art Pal in 10th on 50. Rich Blues in 11th on 46, and then in 12th place is Gary on 35. Jimmy in 13th on 32. So,
And then,
go on.
who's that?
I don't
Who's
know.
that?
I don't
That's
know.
going on here.
It depends on if we ever see him again. Or is actually maybe Blackadder started all this woke nonsense with Bob. For anyone that doesn't get that, Google Blackadder and Bob. Make sure you spell it correctly though, otherwise you could end up bringing up some really weird porn. Actually, you know what? I'm really sorry. I haven't matured past the point of making everything into a sexual innuendo. It's just really hard. It was a joke.
I know it was rubbish. I
Oh,
just said, isn't it?
no, it's not. It's not. Okay, Ray. What's the next track? Oh,
Shit. Give me a second.
You should know. You won the race, the little practice race there.
I know, but I don't know what it would go. What was that? That was.
Think robot police.
What? I don't. Oh, I never put myself the information. I sent everybody else information. The guy sent myself it. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Robot police.
Robot voice? Gaming? No.
Auto
I don't know.
police. Autopolis. Short. Nasty little racetrack. I mean, we're going from like an extremely long racetrack to quite a short one, and it is a nasty little bugger.
Yeah, getting slowed down for that turn one. You miss your braking point, you are going off. And then that hairpin was a nightmare in the wet.
Yeah. The second to last corner. I mean, it's a horrible corner in the dry, because what tends to happen is you get deceived by the corner. It makes you think you can brake later. You brake a bit later, and you're off. In the wet, obviously you don't want to be on the inside line around the corner because it's going to be horribly slippy. So you want to go around the outside line, but that outside line is off cambered and bloody awful. But also you've got to cross the racing line to get over there. And if you've braked a little late, you're going to head back to Le Mans. And that doesn't even bring into play the chicane. Not the chicane, the pit entry.
The pit chicane.
The pit chicane, yeah. Now, admittedly, it's not as severe as it used to be. The Steve F1 Memorial Chicane, as it will now forever be known. Yeah, they've as you go in, it goes left, right, left, and on the right, the wall used to come all the way to like the curb, whereas now there's probably about 3-4 feet. So as long as you get it slowed down, you should be able to get into there okay, but don't go in there too hot, guys. You will end up back out on the racetrack. But yeah, tricky little circuit. No idea what the weather conditions will end up being like there, other than obviously we know it's going to be a wet start. But yeah, no history on there of doing any running in the wet. No idea how long tyres will last, because I mean, if you just go off base information, you could get very what's the word? False news. For example, you say, well, tyres here only lasted 1 lap. Yeah, but that 1 lap was the Nordschleife. Well, tyres here only lasted 1 lap. Well, yeah, that's autopolis short. That's really harsh on wear now. So, yeah. It'd be interesting to see how quick the pit stops are there as well, because from what we've seen, a longer circuit seems to have a longer pit stop.
Yep.
Right, I was wondering if there's anything else that we needed to mention before we finish off here.
Yeah, Critical, if you're watching us, make sure you check out your messages from Dynamic GT League. You'll have some information on next season.
Yeah, and if I remember, it will also be at the start of this video. But yeah, it has been messaged directly to him. So yeah.
From the drivers chat, and it's been
Yeah.
direct.
Yeah. I mean, for anyone that is still wondering about that, as the info said, we cannot give any further information on that championship, the next championship, until this season has finished. So yeah, not a lot we can do there. But trust us when we say the moment we can give out that information, we will give it. And because we want to, if people are potentially going to need to buy a car, then we want to give you as much time as possible to get that money. But having done the video, you should see that the most you should need is 450,000. So with a couple of races left in this championship and a couple of weeks break after the end of this championship, it's what, 5 weeks to get 450,000. Just go and do a couple of laps on the time trial. Go and do one of the circuit experiences. Go and do something, and get a bit of money. And you never know, you might start playing the game a bit more. And Gary might get his updates done before race day. I'll tell you one thing actually. I thought when we changed from racing on a Thursday to a Monday, I thought that would get rid of our update issues, because GT updates its games on a Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So we would often come on a Thursday and people would be like, I've got the update to do. And we'd be like, oh, bugger. So changing to Mondays, I was thinking, well, that's all right. 'Cause if they do the updates on a Wednesday, that's fine. Everyone can get on at some point and do the update before race day. And we've had more people miss races in this championship than ever before. But through updates.
Just through updates, yeah. It'd be alright if it was good updates, you know, with some race cars instead of a bloody kangaroo car.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see someone jokingly put a post up. Obviously, it was like an April Fool's post today, but I think they were sort of taking the piss. But actually, what they shared would be bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
It was a racing truck. They're like, here's GT's next update, and everyone was like, that'd be bloody brilliant, and it would be. I'd love a racing truck. There's actually a racing truck game on the PlayStation,
Yeah.
but it is a bit crap.
I've got one on the PC.
Yeah.
And it is. It's hard because you've got to use
water
to pull the brakes and everything.
Yep.
I'm like, fucking hell.
Oh, I mean, I was.
I'll try to race.
Yeah, was it? It was free on the PlayStation Extra. I thought I'll give it a try, and there's some tracks on there that I've not driven on for a long time. But you don't really get to see any of it because there's trucks all around you. But yeah, I got into it for a bit. I genuinely though, I did have to turn the water brakes off because you can turn that feature off. But yeah, I kept forgetting to do it, and then I wouldn't stop for corners. But anyway, right. Hopefully, in a moment, if I remember, we're going to have a quick look at just how close Rich Blues got to Twilight nose to nose at Indianapolis. But before we do, I just want to say, Ray, go on. Yeah, if I've written a note down, so if I remember to look at the note, I'll remember to add the clip in. Yeah. But yeah, so thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
No worries. Yeah, it's been a pleasure as normal. Well, I don't know if it's normal, but it's been a pleasure. FIA European Truck Racing Championship. That's the game.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you to all the drivers, and thank you to the admins, and the people working in the background.
Absolutely. And finally, Ray, what's the opposite of a killer whale?
The opposite of a killer whale. Friendly whale.
A harmless whale.
Oh, sorry.
Could have been armless, really. But anyway, there we go. Right. Let's go and watch Rich scare the crap out of Twilight. Bye.
Ta-da!